Hi, welcome back to Bounce Forward with me, Tiff Hall. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders, past and present. Sophie popped up with a great question. Hey, Tiff, I'm wondering how you actually got started in health and fitness. What did you study? How did you end up on television? Also, would you ever go back to TV at all? I'd love to see you on our screens again. Oh, Sophie, that's so lovely. But I'll just answer the TV part. No. I'm no interest in doing TV anymore. Not with the little kids. And TV is intense. It's long hours. It's usually for a stint of time where you just completely, like for Biggest Loser, I was on set from 5 a.m. sometimes till 10 p.m. at night. I just couldn't do it around the kids. My husband works in TV and it is intense long hours, and you know, I'll let him do that. One parent on the telly is enough. Arnold's already going to school and he tells everyone I was a gladiator and I wore wings and things like that. And I have his little friends coming up to me and it's just like, it's cute, but also I'm like, let's forget about it now. That was a long time ago. You know, it's just a little blip in my life, and I feel like my focus now is definitely on coaching and helping others to be strong and fit and feel amazing through my business TXO. And I just love that so much. And I could never sacrifice any time to go on television and do a program or host a program or do any of that ever again. I don't think. I'm just so loving what I'm doing with TXO. Now, it's a great question. How did you end up in health and fitness? What did you study? Okay, so I started teaching Taekwondo when I was about 12. I was assistant instructing my father, who was a fitness instructor and a martial arts instructor. And my mum was also a fitness instructor and a martial arts instructor. So I could assist them in classes. When I was 16, I became a full-time instructor. I could take classes on my own. And by that time, I had earned my black belt, which is a certification for teaching classes. And I had gone through the training program at Hall's Taekwondo, which teaches you how to instruct, how to be a good instructor. Then, funnily enough, when I was about, I don't know, I think 18, I turned 18, I would have done my Cert 3 and Cert 4. And in my early 20s, I did my diploma of sports coaching as well. And I also earned my 6th Dan black belt, which then sort of took my Taekwondo coaching and Taekwondo instruction to the next level, because it's the highest rank you can be for a female for my age at that time. And then I'm currently about to start my pre- and postnatal certifications for training. But funnily enough, I didn't go to university and do anything related to health and fitness. And I kick myself now. I kick myself because I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to write novels. I loved creative writing. I did every creative writing course there is under the sun. I won a scholarship at my school for creative writing, and I got an ATAR score of 99.95, just with all straight 50s in literature, English, you name it, all the writing subjects. I just nailed it at school. So for me, I thought, I'm good at writing. I should go and do writing at university. So I went and did a journalism degree, and I also did an arts degree as well. And I did all creative writing subjects, no help, and journalism, which has changed so much now to what it was, 20 years ago. And we studied, audiences, and there was no social media back then. It's just changed so much. And I also did a diploma of modern languages at Melbourne University in French. So I was speaking French back then. Can't anymore. I forget most of it. It's terrible. And I did languages and creative writing and journalism all at Melbourne Uni. It was a really hard course. It was something like 5 years. And I earned my degrees, came out and just kept going with fitness. And the weirdest thing is I had started boot camps, and I was a Les Mills pump instructor and body pump instructor and body combat instructor, and I was teaching Taekwondo and teaching in gyms and personal training and doing boot camps and doing all of that stuff before uni. And I did it all the way through uni. I went to uni in my activewear. People would look at me like I was crazy. I was in like bike shorts and a singlet and my runners. And you never wore activewear anywhere like in 2002 other than when you were training. And I was there in shoots and in lectures in my full activewear, and people thought I was nuts because I was always coming or going to training or training someone or coaching or Taekwondo or something. And my love for fitness was all the way through my degree. And as soon as I finished my degree, I pretty much ditched it and kept going with the fitness stuff. And I did an internship at the Herald Sun, but that was short-lived because then this little advert came up in the paper for a fitness test. And it was a huge, everyone come down for this free fitness test and let's see how fit you are. And I thought, that's me. So I dragged my boyfriend along at the time and we did the fitness test, and he didn't make it through. He got kicked out, but I made it through. And when I made it through, they actually said, this is actually an audition for a TV show called Gladiators, and you have just got through. And I was just so shocked. And my boyfriend was so mad that I had got through and he didn't. We broke up. Yeah, didn't hear from him again. But I went on to do Gladiators on TV, and that was the first thing I'd ever done on television. And then from that, I started to do some morning television. I was asked to do the morning show, which was The Circle back then with Chrissy Swan and Yumi Steins. And I would do little morning segments, which was so great because I was living near Channel 10 at the time. So I would just walk over in my tracksuit and then do like a morning segment on, you know, some best exercises or, you know, fun ways to exercise, whatever I could think up. And I do that like once a week. And then from being on the morning TV, I think I was on a treadmill one day, and I was on the treadmill and talking about the benefits of cardiovascular exercise or something. And I was doing this segment whilst I was running on the treadmill. And I think a producer from The Biggest Loser saw me and thought, who is this nutcase running on a treadmill doing a TV segment? And they called me, and it was a cold call, and they flew me to Sydney for a chat, and I was hired on the spot as the fourth trainer for The Biggest Loser, and I did like 4 years of the show. It was a great time in my life. It was really good fun. I moved to Sydney for the show. I live in Melbourne with my family, and I moved to Sydney, and Ed stayed in Melbourne. We were boyfriend, girlfriend then, and cute. And I missed him heaps, and I lived in Sydney and just did the show. And that was like the TV part of Tiff. But, you know, it's as soon as that show ended and I finished my stint on it, I decided to open my own business, but I didn't know whether to do like an online thing or to do a little studio in Melbourne or to open up a Taekwondo school because my parents have very successful big Taekwondo schools in Melbourne. I thought maybe I could open up a Taekwondo school. I didn't know which direction to turn in, but the one thing that was certain was many people wanted to train with me all over the world and all over Australia, and I didn't know how to do that unless I got online. So I joined Instagram in 2016. I was very late to the party, and I started my online business in 2016, and it's been a wonderful, 8-9 years of running TXO and training women. Over nearly 1 million women around Australia I've trained online, and I'm just so proud of it. So it all began with fitness, and it's always been my passion, fitness. I think I got distracted with the creative writing and the journalism, but funnily enough, something people don't know anything about me, like in this domain with my creative writing, I've actually published 4 novels. And I've published a Roxy Rand series, which is a young adult series, and Maxie and the Money Tree, which is a young adult novel. And those 4 books are still in circulation at shops now. You can still get them: White Ninja, Red Samurai, and Black Warrior, and Maxie and the Magical Money Tree. And all up, I've published 13 books: health and fitness books, recipe books, and children's fiction, as well as young adult fiction. So I do love writing, and I still do. And my beautiful agent, Claire, rings me all the time saying, my writing agent saying, Tiff, have we got a book? And I'm like, you're joking, right? I'm doing my podcast. I've got my business to run. I've got 2 kids. I haven't had time to write a single word, Claire. But she's so gorgeous. She checks in with me. Have we got a book? And the answer is always, no, Claire, I don't. But maybe one day I'll write the great Australian novel. Maybe one day I'll sit down and write something, but not yet. So thank you, Sophie. If you're interested in getting into health and fitness, then I say, find your speciality, find that thing that you're passionate about. For me, my speciality was always martial arts, and I doubled down on that, and I really specialized in it, in self-defense and in fitness, in high-intensity martial arts. I really did focus on teaching Taekwondo as my speciality in personal training and in fitness and stuff. So just find your speciality and you will just do so well. Thanks so much for listening to Bounce Forward. Now, I love having your company, so please DM me all of your questions on Instagram at tiffhall_xo and let me know what you'd love me to cover. Don't forget to rate and review me on your podcast app. Please speak soon. Happy days.